Good morning, this is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. PsychicTarot.ca, book your tarot reading and unlock your spiritual journey. And the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids and cubs, and welcome to Season 5 and episode number 86 of the True North Eager Beaver Interview Project. Oh, Canada. Always 100% Canadian. Today, recording day is Wednesday, January, I am going to guess, 28th, 2026, and it is a lovely day here at the Beaver Lodge. A big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and PsychicTarot.ca. Kids and cubs, how is your mental health today? Mine is doing very well, and I am just going to get right into it because we have limited time with our guest. So you know him, you love him, you adore it when he comes onto the show. So please put your paws up and give a big round of applause for Mr. Devin Heroux. Whoops, let's bring you right in there. There you go. Welcome to the Beaver Lodge again. How are you?
Listen, I am so happy to be here. I love the opening. The peaceful music, the dulcet tones of your voice. It reminds me that an Olympics must be near. So I'm just happy to be here with you. Such important discourse that you provide all the time. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. I always enjoy having you too. You're a joy, and you're so generous with your time. And today, I know that you're covering the Scotties. So you are very much in demand, and you've made a little bit of time for us. So thank you so very much. I want to get into a whole bunch of sports and stuff like that. But before we do, you have three major events that have happened recently. One, you are in Newlywed. Oh, there's the Blake. Oh, and we love here at the Beaver Lodge. So congratulations to both of
Thank
you.
you.
How was the day? How was the honeymoon? How is married bliss?
It is so wonderful. I think we've mastered these being apart. I've been home. I have been home basically 7 days since the wedding, which happened on a beautiful August 29th day. It was magical. It was everything I could have ever wanted. We were surrounded by family and friends and people who love us at the Tom Longboat Hall in downtown Toronto on Queen West, which is a remarkable venue. Tom Longboat, of course, winning the Boston Marathon, such a huge part of our sporting tradition in our country. So I made sure that I became part CBC Sports reporter in my speeches at night to remind everybody the great tradition Tom Longboat holds in this country, and everybody sort of laughed. Of course, I would do that. And yeah, it was really special. Listen, my husband is American from the deep south, a black man. I'm a white man from Saskatchewan. And so many people on that night were reflecting about our love and about our union at a very complicated time in Canada-US relations, and sort of marveled at
Mm.
about the power of love and the power of our story, and all of our own lived experiences, all culminating to that beautiful day of love. So I wanted to make sure I said that because I think that's a message we can't talk enough about right now. So it's been beautiful. I'm looking forward to being on the other side of the Olympics and Paralympics, not rushing through it, but to be back home with him, because we really haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to sort of absorb all of that.
Mm. And without disclosing too much, I know that he has had some success of his own in his own career where he is very accomplished in his own right. And so happy to celebrate that as well. So
Yeah,
please give him our best.
thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, we are a busy couple, and we are both celebrating each other's success as much as we can. And I bring him to curling rinks. So the inundation of curling into his life is working. He watches it when I'm away, so we're on the right path.
Ah, good. And if ever he is wondering, you were very, 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 very proud when you were
I
talking about
was.
his accomplishments. So just want
Yes,
to put that out there.
of course.
I
Thank you for
vouch.
that. Yeah.
uh, the other news is that career-wise, you have had some very good things come your way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I made a bit of a bold move to be more a part of the curling world, and that was to join the curling group in the Grand Slam of curling, and of course the newly announced Rock League, which will be the
That's
first pro
fantastic.
curling league, mixed gender. It's going to be exceptional. It's going to be in Toronto at the Mattamy Center. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be after the Olympics. So there's going to be Olympic champions there, and I've learned so much about that energy. And of course, I've continued my work at CBC, at World Championships features, and I'm going to be hosting the Olympic opening ceremony with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault,
Oh my
which
God.
is, I mean,
That's big.
yeah, it is big, and I'm so nervous. Nervous, and I say that because I always get nerves before big broadcasts. It will
Yes.
always be a part of my DNA, and it lets me know I care.
Right.
It gives me a bit of an edge that I
Yep.
know I need. So yeah, like I just continue to marvel at how things keep showing up in my life, and I don't take any of it for granted. It's such an immense responsibility and blessing for me. The interviews I continue to have, the calls I get from athletes who have significant life news in their own life to sit down and talk about it. to
Right.
me to me that's the ultimate compliment, is that they feel comfortable, trustworthy, and just the mutual respect, and that's all I've ever wanted, for my career. And so that will all be put to the test once again, starting with the opening ceremony at the Olympics, and then right through the Olympic. And then, of course, I'll be staying and doing coverage of my fifth consecutive Paralympic Games, which
There we go.
is so
You
near and
love.
dear to my heart. So,
Yes.
and then right into Rock League in April. So I'm not getting the break until May, but that's all right. I'm used to this. You know that.
Yeah, but I am so proud of you and so delighted for you that you are getting these opportunities. Opening ceremonies, I know, is a very big deal. It is very well deserved. I have the same edge as you do before a show because I care
Right.
and those little butterflies. So I completely understand that feeling. But I know that you are going to be fabulous,
Thank
Devin.
you.
So
Thank you.
as you usually are. So enjoy that. Enjoy all the good stuff though, right?
Thank you.
Because I mean that's going
Yeah,
to be fantastic. That's going to be just a wonderful moment. And there's only one first time. So
I know.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's going to be so
Oof.
good.
I
I
know.
was
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I wanna be so present for all of it.
Yeah. All right. The third thing, less enjoyable, of course,
Mm,
and we talked about it on the show as well, because as a curler myself, I'm never had the pleasure of meeting Coleen Jones, and I really wish I would
Hmm.
have had.
Hmm.
But and also enjoying her work on CBC. Um, I know how close you two were. It must not have been easy news at all. But we're a certain amount of time away now from the initial shock.
Mm.
Um, how are you? And if you
Mm.
have anything that you can share about the family, and of course, give our best to Luke and everyone. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, it's interesting because you talk about being a little removed from that awful day at the end of November, and yet I've been so busy that I haven't really been able to process it.
Mm,
And so you can see the emotion because it's still very raw. There's been a lot of tears, and there are. We were just talking about first. There are all these tragic firsts, including the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, which I'm at right now. Colleen's son Luke is here. Of course, his fiance Marley Powers is playing with Team Black.
right,
Colleen's husband Scott is here. He wanted to be here. Her brother's here. Her family's here. Um, Colleen won the first Scotties in 1982. And she would go on to win six of them and evolve the game in a way that changed it forever. My husband has come to the rink too. It's the first time we're all together without Colleen. And before we had this conversation, I was reflecting on that. Um, in the midst of a Scotties would be when her and I would start our mornings with coffee on a phone call and talk for hours and be on the phone throughout a game talking about it. Um, and then, of course, in the lead up to the Olympics, we really cemented our friendship at the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang. If you can believe it, I got the greatest gift ever to sit beside the Coleen Jones
right,
for 17 consecutive days
right,
of curling, right beside her. Um, and I got to know her heart. I got to know her heart in a way I don't think many Canadians got to. She was bombastic. She was larger than life. She was all the things you saw on TV. But behind all of that was just a woman who cared deeply about people. And for as long as I'm alive, I'm going to make sure that people know that part of Colleen. Um, because I think what I'm coming to terms with having a somewhat public life is that we have to be all these things in front of a camera.
right,
But I think we're all at the core of us, and Colleen and I talked a lot about this, is like these insecure imposter people who just want to feel like we have safe places and are loved and get to love. Um, and even more now than ever with the vitriolic hate-filled speech online and social media, like I just really want to double down on like authentic communication. That's what Colleen was all about. That's what she sort of carved for us and for me. And so I'm going to honor her by really trying to do that. The family's okay. They've been so brave and beautiful and courageous because that's who she was. She'd just be like, suck it up, get to the rink, keep throwing stones, keep moving on. And so we're
right.
doing that. We're all doing that. But it's in moments like the Scotties and the first that the loss is really felt. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna be thinking a lot about her during the Olympics and really channeling her performances at 10 Olympic Games for the CBC. A
amazing.
remarkable woman who literally did it all in her 65 wonderful years of life.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, if we're just talking about the sport, I mean, she's curling's first international superstar,
For sure.
really.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
undoubtedly, for sure.
Yeah. And then, when you add all the other qualities that we know about her, we were talking on the show recently of a Kirsty Duncan, who was a
Mm,
cabinet minister who just passed away. 2 days ago, or yeah, I think so, after a long fight with cancer. And same thing about her. She just exuded kindness. Everybody just loved her. She had time for everyone. So, that's in a short period of time, two examples of people that just, the nation is just so much poorer for having lost them because they were
I'm
just wonderful lights.
I'm so glad you brought up Kirsty because I really got to know her when we did our groundbreaking investigation into abuse in amateur sport.
Right.
Um, we spent a lot of hours on the phone and became really, really close friends. She wouldn't mind my saying this, I have three nieces who are all athletes back in Saskatoon, and Kirsty took a fond liking to them and was fascinated. And every time we talked, asked about my nieces, that she said those superheroes. She sent them gifts. I
Yeah.
mean, this is who she was. And I was talking to my husband the other night after learning of the loss of Kirsty, 59 years old,
Right.
Coleen 65.
Too young.
Um, Too young. It feels like death has been around me and us, and I always am looking for the lessons, and the lessons are this is all fleeting, this is all precious. Be kind. They were so kind. They took the time to talk to everybody they possibly could. They shone light in the darkest of places, and I'm thinking of Kirsty's partner, Sven. I know
Mm,
he's heartbroken, and so we're wrapping our arms around Sven in this awful time, and around the family of Colleen. Far
yeah.
too soon, two really brilliant women who made such a difference in our country.
Yeah. For those in our audience who may not be familiar, Kirsty Duncan was for a while Minister of Sport and really championed safe sport and was a bit of an
Yeah.
athlete herself, actually, as well. So, uh, listen, I want to talk Olympics and Paralympics. I know we have a very short amount of time, so we only really have time to get your overall impressions of what it is that we can expect. Really, I've been watching the team going. I know the competition is tough in curling, but there is a possibility for a sweep because we really do have the quality of athletes required in order to do that, and our speed skaters are absolutely
Of
phenomenal. So where else could, and there's a whole bunch of people that have been like winning medals on the World Cup like for the first time in the weeks leading up. So you can have a lot of any given Sunday type of
for
performances
sure.
from a wide array of people, both in the Olympics and their Paralympians. Just what should we be looking for? Where should we put our attention?
Okay, so let's go rapid fire. Let's start with the most recent news. Of course, Canada's flag bearers
Yes,
announced. Marielle Thompson, a ski cross Olympic champion, two-time Olympic medalist. She will carry the flag, and so too will the best ever to do it in
right.
moguls, Mikkel Kingsbury, three times an Olympic medalist, an Olympic champion in 2018. I had the privilege of getting a few one-on-one conversations with both of them in the wake of them finding out. It's so awesome to get the privilege of doing these flag bearer announcements because you can imagine and appreciate. You grow up with this Olympic dream of going to a games, then maybe winning a medal, then maybe becoming a champion, but the flag,
Mm,
to carry the flag, to
mhm.
lead an entire country into an Olympics. They become the 27th and 28th ever flag bearers at the Winter Olympics, dating back to 1924 for Canada.
Right,
Um, Such wonderful representatives. Their careers are both 33 years old. They were born a month apart. Their careers sort of parallel each
right.
other, stories of injury and triumph and resilience and the redemptive power of sport. So I'll start there. Watch for Mick Kingsbury, watch for Marielle Thompson to land on the podium at the games. Curling, you said it, could be a sweep. On the other side of that, it could just as likely be a missed podium, like
Right.
or even a missed playoff. Like that is where we're at.
Yeah, the level's so high.
Rachel Holman going to her third consecutive Olympics, #1 in the world, back-to-back world champion. This is hers to lose, in my opinion. She is perfectly situated to meet the moment, in my opinion. Maybe it was overwhelming in 2018. Mixed doubles is a little bit more a bit
Yep.
of a flip of a coin in 2022. This time, this team, they're ready. I expect them to make it to the gold medal game against Switzerland's Team Tiranzoni.
Yeah.
And then anything can happen. Team Mowat on the men's side, lights out. They'll be great. But Brad Jacobs has been there, done that. So too has Mark Kennedy,
Right.
Ben Hebert, Brett
Right.
Gallant. They're ready. So get the popcorn out. And then mixed doubles. No word of a lie. Every team
Really?
going could win. Could win.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy for
Yeah.
Brett and Jocelyn in mixed doubles because they are the ones that qualified us the first time when Caitlin Laws and Johnny Moe won, but didn't get to go themselves. So now they get their chance.
Unbelievable. They've won the national championship 3 times. They've won world championship medals. They're ready. They're already there. They're in a place called Brunico, a 2-sheeter, warming up, getting ready to take on the world. And then Wednesday, 2 days prior to the opening ceremony, they start against Czechia. So get ready for the curling, short track speed skating. I'll be there. It's going to be a medal haul. Like, it is going to be lights out. I'm expecting, probably putting on my maple leaf colored glasses, but I'm expecting anywhere from 7 to 10
Right.
short track speed skating medals. Will Dangenou, Courtney Sorrow, Kim Boutin, Stephen Dubois, on and on.
Yep.
They're a powerhouse. Figure skating, Piper and Paul in the dance. I'll be at figure skating as well. That will be dramatic,
Mhm.
as it always is.
Yeah.
Men's and women's hockey, the NHLers are back. Mark McMorris going to another Olympics in snowboarding.
Right.
It's just the best of the best. Marie-Philippe Poulin, Captain Clutch, Sidney Crosby on the men's hockey side. Ski jumping, Abigail Strait, she's been
Yes.
landing on the podium. She's going to soar and do her thing. And when you think about it, 4 years ago, this was a ski jumping program that was funding themselves,
Right.
that nobody really knew. And then they won this out of nowhere team event bronze medal, and they've been great since then. So, overall, after saying all of that, what I'll say is that when the 2 cauldrons, for the first time in history, it won't be 1 cauldron, it will be 2 Olympic cauldrons, so double the heat. When they are lit on Friday, February 6th evening in Milano and Cortina, what that moment represents is a combination of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lifelong ambition to be an Olympian for so many athletes. What it does within the fandom and the people across our country is it ignites a passion and an excitement that will ripple across the nation for 17 consecutive days, and etch in our minds and our hearts once again a "where were you when" moment that we'll talk about for decades. To me, that is a unifying power of sport at a time when there is so much ugliness outside of it. I think we're going to be reminded of our own humanity. We'll see that play out. And to me, that's what I'm most looking forward to, is that we're never going to know what it's like to skate like the greats, ski like the greats, shoot like the greats. But within our own lives, we do know triumph and we do know loss, and all of that will be tied together. We'll be reminded of that, and we'll be in our own communities feeling a little less isolated, hopefully, over the course of the games.
Okay. And now, if we're going to talk about our Paralympians for a little bit,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Mr. Arendz,
Oh,
what a season he's been having.
I mean, he's an unstoppable force. I went out to Canmore. I think it must have been in November with him on a training day. It was cold in November. It was sort of sleeting, not quite snow on the mountains at that point, and he was training in a parking lot out front of the biathlon center in Canmore on these wheel skis going around in circles. I was in my car following him, exhausted in my vehicle, just trying to follow him. He is a relentless athlete in pursuit of greatness. I'll never forget my first Paralympics in Pyeongchang. I think he won 5 or 6 Paralympic medals. He had this hulking medal haul around his neck, and we went through security together. He had all his medals. I stopped him, and much to their surprise, saw this medal haul. He's from Prince Edward Island. He does the Islanders so proud. I think he's going to be an unstoppable force. And he is the best of the Paralympic movement. He does so many speaking engagements. He went to a War Amps event when he was a kid, and he was inspired by that experience to know that there was life after his farm injury.
Right.
I don't think he's ever forgotten that, and I think he feels an immense responsibility to inspire those who have had an injury, who wonder what life will now look like. That is what this is all about. And I would challenge anybody who will watch our Paralympians to, in their own life and own communities, just take a look at the accessibility from sidewalks to stairs to washrooms,
Right.
to see how accessible we're making our own areas in which we live, and think about our Paralympians and what they endure to not only be able to compete, but just to live day to day. Shines a spotlight on our own able-bodied privilege, but also the little things we can do with our own communities to make it a more accessible world. That, to me, is what the Paralympics is all about. I'll be in Cortina with our wheelchair curlers, with our
Yes.
alpine stars, and para snowboarder, defending Paralympic champion Ty Turner. So
Yes.
it'll be nonstop from Milan to Cortina, nonstop Paralympic coverage on CBC. We continue to bring just robust coverage that you can watch on the network and live at any moment on CBC Jam.
Good promotion there.
Yeah.
Other than Mark and Ty, who should we be looking for?
Yeah, I mentioned the wheelchair curling team. They're such a seasoned team. They're so lovable. Ina Forrest, I believe this
Right.
is her 5th Paralympics, if I'm not mistaken. A champion, Mark Idison. They're going to be really hard to beat. They've won bronze medals. In fact, I always love saying this. Canada is the only wheelchair curling nation on the planet to have won a Paralympic medal at every Games since it was introduced at the Paralympics in 2006 in Italy 20 years ago. So
There you
back to
go.
where it all began. That'll be exciting. And then, of course, our great para ice hockey team.
Mm.
There's so many incredible stories. Tyler McGregor, he has a Air Canada spot that just gives me goosebumps. Check that out. He's a great leader. Just from top to bottom, that team is so solid. It's likely going to be Canada versus USA in the
Right.
gold medal game. And I always love that battle on ice. So watch for the team events. I know Canadians love a team. So the para ice hockey team and para wheelchair curling team, they're ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. They're putting in their final touches right now, and then let the games begin.
I'm so happy about that. I'm very much looking forward to them, Devin. I know you got to get going soon, so unless you happen to have something to say about the skeleton scandal, I will let you go.
Oh, you know what? I've talked a lot about it in the background. I haven't said anything publicly, haven't done any reporting on it. It's a complicated one, of course, for those
Mhm.
who don't know it. An American skeleton athlete shows up at a competition believing that if she wins it, she will get enough qualifying points, Katie, and I don't want to say her name wrong. Erlander, I believe, is her last name.
Okay.
To pronounce it. And Katie shows up at the event thinking if she wins it, she'll get enough qualifying points to go to her sixth Olympics. Canada pulls out 3 athletes from competing, which essentially lowers the point total of that event. I think there is some gamesmanship that isn't a gender neutral term, but there is some game playing going on there. Of course, there is. It's a tough one, right? Because in the spirit of the Olympics and the spirit of competition, you would want the playing field to be equal, and you would want people to have the opportunity to go and play.
Right.
And it's also the Olympics. You're trying to win medals, and everybody knows that you're trying to find any way imaginable to make your way to those games. And I think when you're getting to the 11th hour of trying to qualify, I think from a Canadian coaching perspective, you're trying to do everything you can to protect your team and increase your chances of winning a medal. So, yeah.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
It's very tricky, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much on it
Yep.
because I think it's supercharged. It's even more charged in the political environment. And maybe what I'll say as a closing thought is, I don't think it's over just yet. I know there have been. I think there's been a lot of correspondence. The IOC has received a lot of correspondence from the USOC, Olympic and Paralympic Committee. They've reached out to JD Vance, the vice president, who will be at the opening ceremony, who may have back channel conversations with the IOC on the ground. So I will say, to be continued.
Okay. I have a feeling on that one that there might be an announcement that she is allowed to participate anyway because the withdrawals came a little late. I just have a feeling, just in the interest of fairness of sport, there will be a mechanism found that will somehow give her a permission to be able to enter the race, because she won the race, so she would have qualified.
She won the event. She has been there, done that many, many, many times. And there is precedent for the IOC to award extra quota spots and wildcard spots. So,
yeah, I have a feeling that might end up being the tidy resolution for everyone. And then hopefully people buy somebody else a beer, and then it's all love and kisses after that again.
Well, I'm not sure if that will happen, but whatever happens, I will be there to report on it.
And we will look forward to it. Devin, I know you got to go. Please, again, give our best to Colleen's family if you have an opportunity to see them, and enjoy the Scotties, because we will be watching you from over here and enjoying your work.
Yeah, I'm headed out soon, so the time change. I'm going to be in Italy watching the Scotties at whatever hour I have to. And listen, as a closing thought, just so grateful to be with you in this space once again. You're always so kind to me, and it's moments like this along the way that give me a little bit of pause to reflect about how this has all evolved for me. And I'm going to give you my best when I'm over there throughout the Olympics and Paralympics. It'll be an exciting journey in whatever way it plays out on the field of play. And just keep up the great work. And I'm grateful for you and for this space you've created.
Well, we are very grateful for you, Devin. It's love and it's real. So just want you to know that from the Damn Fam and from us over here. Thank you for making time for us. And again, just enjoy the moment, man, because you've earned this. You work so hard. So go ahead and enjoy all of it.
Thank you. Let the games begin.
Yes. All right. Bye. Kids and Cubs, the wonderful, the delightful Devin Heroux joining us for a quick hit, but wanted to catch up with him. Lots of personal news, of course, and of course, maybe not as much Olympic talk as we normally get the chance to have, But I think we covered the bases, and that will allow you to enjoy them a little more, getting a little preview here, because probably when this airs, we'll be about 2 or 3 days from the first events taking place, as Devin mentioned. Some events will be starting before the opening ceremonies. Usually it's curling and hockey. So please keep your eyes peeled for that, and watch your schedules and your TV guides and all that kind of stuff to find out when those are on, so that you can break out your flags or your Olympic wear. Model pose. And hey, this shirt has held up really well for 16 years. That's all I will say. Great craftsmanship here. And you can watch Team Canada go on and do its thing. Our athletes are always some of our best ambassadors, making us proud at every turn. And we have a lot to cheer for this year. So, hey, it could be a nice little haul this year for us. So there's lots of reasons to watch, and just cheering on good Canadians who are doing good things and making us proud, because that's what we have on the show, right? We always have a little segment for Canadians who make us proud. Well, there has been a lot of that on this show. All right, kids and cubs, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. We hope that you love listening to us, because we love making this for you. Remember, sharing is caring. Word of mouth is priceless. Share our content. I'm just going to go through the closing a little quickly here today. And if you would like to, please remember to smash with our buttons on our YouTube page, like, share, and subscribe. Kids Elaine and Cassie would approve. And if you would like to support us, this is our coffee page, the link to it, ko-fi.com/Eager Beaver. And if you would go there, you can make a contribution to the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund. Very much appreciate that. I do not have to go quickly through the extra anymore. Devin, I think, was waiting for me to be able to say goodbye after the show. And but he does have to be at places at the moment, so he had to go. So I'll make sure to send him a little something written after we do this, to thank him for his time on behalf of everyone one more time. So yes, here we go. If you want to support us, you can go there and make a little contribution. When you drop a loonie or toonie into the emergency hydration fund, that helps us cover the costs of bringing the show to you several days a week. And yeah, and of course, all the costs we incur, such as the platform with which we record and all that kind of stuff. So we really appreciate your help there. And if you are doing the Buy Canadian thing, truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com is our email address, and you can send us a direct bank transfer that way. And that way, none of your donation goes to the US tech bros, but that portion also comes to us. So your donation goes further to bring you yet more beaver. And who doesn't like more beaver? I'm just saying. Kids and cubs. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, we have the super chat and memberships. If you are interested, all the ways that you can contribute are very greatly appreciated. And that includes non-financial ways, because not everybody can make a financial contribution. But if you use our email address, truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com, you can send us a contribution in words, like what you think about the show, or some suggestions on how we can make it better, some suggestions for some guests that we can talk to, or if you are using the Kids Who Cook hashtag and want to play with us, if you you can send us some pictures of some yummy things that you are cooking, or if you just happen to have some good news, because with all the doom scrolling, it's just nice to share in your joy, and that's refreshing for us. So please, anything, just send us something, talk to us, let us know how things are going. We love to hear from you. We just love to hear from you. Or if you have any questions about politics or the show or whatnot that you might want us to answer, go ahead and submit them. We are very happy to take up your questions, and maybe even build a segment around it. Right? There you go. Kids and cubs, because democracy is something that you do remember. If you live on Prince Edward Island, on the 7th is the day of the PC convention. If this happens to air on the 2nd, which I believe it will, Monday, February 2nd, I believe that is, then this will be the day of the third candidate forum, where you will be able to hear the two candidates deliver their position for the party and their vision for the party. So we absolutely encourage you to check that out. I was hoping that I would have a little more information at hand about that, but I do not as to where the location of that is. Oh, wait a minute. I do right here. At the Confederation Center of the Arts in Charlottetown on February 2nd will be the third and final leadership forum. And then on February 7th, of course, the leadership convention taking place at the Eastlake Center in Charlottetown. We also have our two petitions for you. Petition E7027 to call on the Minister of Health to invoke the power of disallowance under Section 90 of the Constitution Act of 1867 to annul or repeal legislation enacted in Alberta and Saskatchewan that restricts the rights of transgender and gender diverse people. And that legislation, as you know, has been shielded from charter scrutiny by use of the notwithstanding clause in a preemptive manner. So we can definitely use your signature at the time of recording. We got 29,615 signatures on that one. And the other one is House of Commons petition E6821. And that one calls on the House of Commons in Parliament to pass legislation requiring majority Canadian ownership of control, print, digital, and other non-audiovisual news media to protect Canadian sovereignty, ensure journalism integrity, and guarantee that our media reflects Canadian priorities and values, because it appears that we have a quisling press, and we might not want that anymore, especially with some separation referenda possibly on the agenda, and those being great opportunities for foreign interference, particularly through the media, particularly through media outlets that are not owned by Canadians and serving the best interests of Canadians. That petition is now at 16,297 signatures. House of Commons petition E6821, if you want to look at that. And both those petitions can be found on rcommons.ca. Finally, if you are interested in the high-speed rail project, Kits and Cubs, then you might want to participate in the public consultation. And that is available on the web at altotrain.ca/en/public-consultation. There are also some online seminars, and there are in-person events. There's a whole calendar where you can see that. I believe the public consultation goes for about 3 months. We might be about 2 weeks into it now. So please do participate and let your views known if this is a subject that is of interest to you in any way. All right. Words of wisdom, kids and cubs. Sunscreen. I know right now we're in the winter over here, we might not need to use it, but given that at the time you are watching this, I am probably about to get on a plane or have just boarded a plane to a sunnier clime. In that luggage, we do have sunscreen. So, yeah, it's a good thing. Hey, who knows? It might be it might be less expensive to buy it in the winter than in the summer. You never know. Check out your pharmacy. Stock up. And that's the best I got for you today, kids and cubs. Sunscreen. And of course, get ready to watch the Olympics. That's the other words of wisdom. Like I said, make sure you check your guides to see when the first events are taking place, especially the ones that are early, so that you make sure to not miss a moment and an opportunity to cheer for Team Canada. All right. After that, what do we have? Well, I guess that's just time for me to say, kids and cubs, it could be a tough world out there. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself and wish me a bon voyage and safe travels. And hopefully, I will be able to see you again while we are doing the show. It seems oddly enough, I thought that the time zones were much different, but it seems I'm only one time zone off. It seems that I thought Puerto Vallarta was in the Pacific time zone, but really it's in the Central time zone. And since Mexico doesn't do daylight savings, I believe the hour is just 1 hour difference with Ottawa time where I will be. I probably still won't be doing a 7:30 show. I might be doing mostly pre-records because I'm actually not sure at the moment where it is I could record a show. Whether or not we can record them where it is that we're staying, or I have to go off site or something of the sort. And then, of course, it's going to depend on how much data I'm able to get while I'm there. So I'm not quite exactly sure what the Mexico schedule is going to be, how frequently I'll be able to do a show, and exactly at what time. But hopefully, I will have a couple of pre-records ready for the first few days until I can figure it out, and that those will air at 7:30. My pre-records have to be less than an hour long, especially if I'm going to pre-schedule them. So there is a possibility, Kits and Cubs, that you might see if I have a longer show, two shows back to back that are less than an hour length each. If I'm going to be doing that, so I will try to keep you posted. Please consult the post tab on our YouTube page to keep abreast of any programming developments and program notes. But it might take me a couple of days to figure out how to do anything live from there, and then find a time and all that type of stuff to be able to do that. So look for some pre-records for the first few days. So I might not have news on the Monday morning about the Pierre Polyev leadership thing unless I'm able to record something on the weekend before I go, because the results will be known on Friday. If I am able to do that, there'll probably be another 1 hour show either scheduled for tomorrow when you're watching this, or immediately after this on our page, depending on how many episodes I can pre-record before leaving. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Just a few programming notes there. All right, Kits and Cubs. At the count of three, I'm going to pretend you're in the room with me and say, Mr. Beaver, please cue the cock on 1, 2, and 3. Oh, there is some patriotic. Yes, there is some patriotic sounds in there. I know. I can tell already today that you are very, very excited for the Olympics and Paralympics. And I can hear the Yay Canada in your voice. And since you asked so kindly and in such a rousing manner, how can I resist? And I will be back with a little bit of an Easter egg. You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors: the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters; CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community; and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music. Well, since we're talking about Olympics and Paralympics and we got a couple of minutes left before we hit the hour, I thought I would bring you some news about some Canadians who make us proud, who are on the way to the Olympics and Paralympics and have done some good things in the final few weeks getting ready for the big event. Mark McMorris, who we talked about with Devin very briefly here, won the men's snowboard slopestyle event at the X Games in Aspen. He's already the most decorated athlete in Winter X Games history. With a score of 96.3, the Regina native earned his 8th slopestyle title, bringing his total to 12 gold medals, and this is also his 25th career medal. He extends his record for most gold medals with 8 and medals overall in the discipline with 16. His 25 medals are not only the most of any winter athlete, it's the third most overall at X Games, behind only skateboarders Bob Burnquist and Nija Houston. So great success for him. We also talked very briefly about Valérie Baltet, who captured medals in consecutive days, taking home a silver and bronze in what she hopes is a sign of things to come at the Olympics. Sprinted to a second place finish behind a skater from the Netherlands, and then fellow Canadian Yvonne Blondin had just missed a podium finish in that race. It's the second silver in the mass start event for Malte this season. And Canada also finished the weekend with a silver medal in the women's team sprint event. So some good work there for our team Canada in long track speed skating. We also talked about Abigail Strait, the ski jumper. And here, this is from January 24th. It says 3 days after a bronze on the normal hill in Zao, Japan, Abigail Strait took home 2 silver medals over 2 events on the large hill in Sapporo at the FIS Ski Jumping World Cup. The 24-year-old has now medaled in 3 straight World Cup events on her way to the Olympics. She has a career best 6 World Cup career best 6 World Cup medals in the 2025 and 26 season, and currently sits in 8th place overall in the World Cup standings. Fantastic news for her. Talking about our Paralympians, lots of good stuff here. This is Louis Daigneault from the Canadian Paralympic Committee site reporting on this. This is from, January 26th. With less than 40 days until the Winter Paralympics, Canada's Paranordic skiers are on target for more multi-medal performances in Milano Cortina in March. On Sunday, Mark Ahrens, Natalie Wilkie, and Derek Zaplatinsky were crowned Crystal Globe champions for season overall titles at the Parabiathlon World Cup final. Can you imagine that? It was the 5th overall title for Ahrens, his 3rd in a row, and 4th in past 5 seasons. For Wilkie and Zaplatinsky, it was their first career season title. Ahrens, a 12-time Paralympic Games medalist over 4 games from Hartsfield, Prince Edward Island, delivered the most dramatic finish, winning gold in the 12.5-kilometer final in the men's standing category. Heading into the final race of the season, Benjamin Deviette of France held a 6-point lead over Ahrens. To successfully defend his Crystal Globe, the Canadian needed to finish at least 2 places ahead of his rival. Both athletes shot flawlessly despite increasingly difficult wind conditions. Ahrens was faster on the course, but his Crystal Globe triumph would not have been possible without an equally outstanding performance by Marco Meyer. The German shot a perfect to finish just 3 seconds behind Ahrens. Crucially, Meyer finished between Ahrens and Deviette, tipping the overall standings in Ahrens' favor and securing his 5th Crystal Globe title in total. Wow, that is definitely dramatic. As for Wilkie, who's from Salmon Arm, BC, once again demonstrated flawless shooting to claim her 6th victory of the season in the women's standing 12.5 kilometer. And Brittany Hudak of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, was 3rd. Wilkie has posted 6 victories this season on the circuit, including 4 straight wins to open the season. Wow. The 7-time Games medalist was 2nd overall last winter. Meanwhile, Hudak collected 4 medals this season to place 2nd overall in the Crystal Globe standings. The 3-time Paralympian was also 2nd 2 seasons ago. And Zaplatinsky from Smoky Lake, Alberta, was a model of consistency this season with top 10 finishes in his 8 races, this to win the men's sitting title. He was 3rd overall 2 seasons ago. Germany won the Parabiathlon Nations Cup, with Canada finishing 2nd, 37 points behind, and the United States 3rd. So some great news from our Paralympians here. And while we are talking about our Paralympians, kits and cubs, our para ice hockey team was named for the games as well. And this here, according to the Canadian Paralympic Committee, Hockey Canada and the Canadian Paralympic Committee have announced the 17-player roster nominated to represent the Canadian Paralympic team in para ice hockey at the Milano Cortina Games. It includes 2 goaltenders, 5 defensemen, and 10 forwards. This is the men's team here. The 17 players nominated for the games were selected by head coach Boris Rybalka, assistant coach Steve Arsenault, and goaltending coach Dominique Larocque, and skills and video coach Dean Seymour. And those athletes are Adam Kingsmill from Smithers, British Columbia, Corbin Watson from Kingsville, Ontario, Rob Armstrong from Erin, Ontario, Sean Burnett from McMasterville, Quebec, Oren Halbert from Calgary, Alberta, Tyrone Henry from Ottawa, Ontario, Mathieu Lelièvre from Lévis, Quebec, Vincent Boilly from Alma, Quebec, Dominic Cozzolino from Mississauga, Adam Dixon from Midland, Ontario, James Dunn from Wallacestown, Ontario, Liam Hickey from St. John's, Newfoundland, Anton Jacobs-Webb from Gatineau, Quebec, Micah Kovacevic from Edmonton, Alberta, Zach Lavin from Essex, Ontario, Tyler McGregor, who we talked about, from Forest, Ontario, and Greg Westlake, of course, from Oakville, Ontario. Nothing here about whether or not I'm not sure if there is women's sledge hockey at the Paralympics. I might have to check that. I'm not sure if the sport is popular enough around the world for it to actually be a category. But that is the Team Canada announcement that has been made. So with that, we wish a lot of success to our team, and hopefully, if there is women, you know what? I'm just gonna look that up right now. Is there women's para hockey at the Paralympics? And see, women's Paralympics is currently not part of the para hockey is currently not part of the Paralympics, but women para hockey organizations are vying for inclusion at the 23 Paralympics in the French Alps. There you go. So we're not there yet, kits and cubs. See, I just assumed that we were, given that we've been talking about gender parity for so long and that we have a PWHL and everything. And I know that's not sledge hockey, but I just assumed that we were there in the Paralympic movement, but not yet. So we will definitely keep cheering for that to happen one day, because it would be lovely to have a women's team for which to cheer as well. Kits and cubs, that's all I got for you. So amour et bisous. And we will see you soon. A big thank you to Devin Heroux for being our guest today to give us a little bit of an Olympic and Paralympic preview. Please, again, kits and cubs, get ready to cheer real loud, because I am convinced that our athletes going to hear us all the way from there, or at least feel the good vibes. All right, I am gone. And by the time tomorrow the show airs, maybe I will have had some beach time already. So wish me uneventful travels, and we'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone.